Hey everybody, it's a Modern Day Nana. Okay, last week we finished up the wedding junk journal that we've been working on for several weeks, and so I wanted to take the opportunity to go back and do a few pages in our own personal book that we started, and I hope you started one also. This is just a book. I did a flip book, so it's got just the big, probably 3-inch maybe rings. I took an old book that was a kid book, so it's nice and big, more than a 8x10. But you know, do whatever size works for you. If you want it smaller, this way we can open up the pages. So we did the cover, and I wanted it to be a kind of a continuation of like a vision board. I did make a little vision board, but I thought it would be fun to do like a vision journal for the year and just journal in it, you know, when we wanted to. So the first page is the hardcover of the book. Actually, this was the background of the book anyway. So I just left it, and I just put some, you know, some words I cut out of magazines, a card I had out of a kid book, Fairy Godmother. So today, this one said, you know, it was talking about the journey, I deserve inner peace, the story, which I'm still not doing very well on getting it down in written form, but I definitely have a story to tell that I'd like to get out, and I'd like to get a book out on it. I don't know what that looks like. I'm still trying to like get out my experiences on paper. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, today's full of possibilities. So this was just the hardcover, and then I went ahead and did the inside of it also. And it's just, yeah, talking about, you know, the first of the year, it's go time, heart and soul, find your true north. This was just a coloring page. It says be brave, that's kind of under it. Here was a card, hero and heroine card. So, yeah, I've got to be the heroine of my own story, deeper journey, a girl looking off into the woods. So that was that. And then we have this page talking about being strong, strong mind and body. I think the eagle represents that to me. All just magazine things. You can go online and print out different things, different sayings and things. You know, you only have to be careful, I think, if you're going to like resell them. So, but just for your own personal use, I think you're pretty safe. Just, you know, see what their fine print says. Let go of the past. So yeah, so that brings us to today. And some of these I already basically went ahead and put something, you know, covered them with something. This was just a calendar page. But what I did was I took the book, I took the book pages and used them, and then also I just took some white paper and made pages. Okay, so today I thought we'd work on this. And now, you know, if you want to do something like this, it can be in any form you want. It can be, it can just be a book, or it can be like the journals you get, like the sketchbook, you know, plain, or a notebook, just a notebook. Oh, I wanted to show you this one real quick. And I am not opposed to, this is like the first one probably I ever made, and it's still got a lot of work to be done on it, but this was just a composition book. And I might have showed it to you in the beginning when I kind of showed you all the journals I had done. But this was just a composition book, and I just put a piece of scrapbook paper over the top of it. And then I kind of went through a stage where I did just like printed off quotes, and again, magazines, book pages, that kind of thing. So, but I'm not opposed to, if I really wanted to, pulling something out of here and putting it in a new book. You know, if I felt it really worked. I thought this page was really pretty. These are like my favorite colors. And see, I haven't even journaled in this. Just did some different paint techniques, and we can get into those. Some collage. You know, just did collaging. Just playing. You know, just playing. But anyway, yeah. Plenty of places to journal in this book. And I might have to actually pull a few pages out if I do more in here, because it's getting so thick, and that would not be a bad idea. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show you this. See, this is just the notebook, and you could paint, do whatever you want. It's nice and thick and pasty. I wish you could feel it. I love that. I just love that feel, that kind of crunchy feel. And I think, you know, this definitely was expressing kind of where I was at the time I was really working on this, but we can just go back in and continue to work in it. But see, I just ran all kinds of quotes off. Be careful how you are talking to yourself because you're listening. I don't know if I didn't get all of her name on there or not. Lisa M. H.A. is all I have. So, follow your dream. Look at her. She's resting. She's all nestled in the woods. She's resting. These were just bits and pieces I wanted to get in here and play with. Expect nothing, appreciate everything. Here's a girl coming out of the dark woods. Maybe now she has some good secrets. Now she's found out some things about herself, right? This is just all kinds of collage pieces. The people worth impressing. This was just something I must have printed off. Your 5-year-old self and your 85-year-old self. I mean, that right there is a whole study. You know, in what are we doing, right? So anyway, I just want to show you this. And like I said, I'm not opposed to taking out pieces of it. You know, as if we need them. So, this was just out of an old, I think it was like about how things have grown up in America, how things have changed and how times have changed. I mean, this is literally a dude up here on top of a skyscraper with no equipment, no rope. Here's some old boards that seem to be holding the situation down here. Which is what he's walked out there on, and he's working on a beam. So I think this photo was representative of me, of some challenges and some things I'm facing. And, you know, that's what your journal is, right? Your journal, you can write in your journal, you can doodle in your journal, you can collage. Now, I don't know about painting. We'll have to get one out, and we'll have to make a journal that we can paint in, or we can watercolor in, because I've got some watercolor books and some mixed media paper, So we'll get a journal together so we can work on that too. I don't really have one active right now. But anyway, so with what we've got, I thought we could just start with some words. Let me see. I had a couple, I think it was just mainly words that I was thinking with our gentleman here working on the skyscraper. He's got this crowbar or something look like. Because I have been definitely dealing with something over the past, I'd say month, that is way out of my comfort zone. And so, it has definitely caused me, several things actually, and it has caused me to, dig deeper, do some soul searching, like, you know, where am I coming from? And you know, that's good, but it's also can be really painful. So we have a don't stop. It's tiny, but you know it's on there. And again, too, you can just write on here. If there's something you want to say, I've got different colored pencils. You don't have to use, here's a bunch of permanent markers. I'm not even sure. Some of them might be kind of seeing their better days, but yeah, you don't have to do the magazine thing. You can just write and doodle. It just so happens that I've got all that. So anyway, I think these Sharpie markers would be good for this. And we could also go around our words too. So let's just see what we've got here. Just in our paper, our magazine cutouts. Here's a life lessons. I think that's pretty appropriate. I'm definitely learning some life lessons. Life skills you need to know. Well, that kind of, I feel like that kind of goes with what's going on here. I'm definitely making progress. Here's one that says progress. Just breathe. Yeah, I don't know. I think most of us would probably have some serious issues being up on a skyscraper with no protection. Here's one that says stronger. So, advanced. Ooh, here's a good one. I think in the magazine it was talking about blood pressure, but definitely under pressure. Love yourself. Always my resounding theme, right? Always what we're working toward, and it has been a difficulty. It's been a difficulty for me. Here's an expect better. I'm just going to lay these down. Ooh, here's a good one. Do big things. Oh, you guys. I think that is, that's a challenge. And I think that we all, we all have to think about where we're at and what we want to do and where we're at in our life. So I think for sure that just breathe. I don't know if we want that right here with him. I think I'll cut as much as possible. And this can be nice just as a flip through. We can look at it and kind of remember. I think I'll put it underneath him. Just breathe. Okay. There. Okay, guys, so just breathe. I think that is obviously major. Do big things. I like this one. So since we've already got the picture on here, we've already got that, basically the whole thing. The sky, well, the sky is the focal point, you know, down here working on this. Do big things. I think we can just put this wherever, you know, we can just fill up our page. And certainly, you know, that's a decision we have to make. And that's a tough decision. Or it can be a tough decision. I think we've all heard the sayings of, you know, do we want to play small, or do we want to dim our light and to fit in, maybe, not stand out for whatever reason you don't want to stand out, or to just not even show up. You know, sometimes you just don't even want to show up. You're just like, I'm going to come, I'm going to be here, I'm going to leave, I'm going to do what I need to do. But I'd like to be doing more than that, guys. I'd like to be making progress. Do big things. Progress. Now this purple glue dries clear. So if I get some on here, I'm not worried about it. Kind of go over these edges that we have extra. Okay, and what happens when we what happens when we do make progress? Things are better for us. Things are better for everybody. We make the world better. So I think, you know, we go next level. We go next level when we make progress. You know, it's like the elevator, right? And yeah, that's what I want to do. Oh, here we go. This one says life skills you need to know. And I think that's the thing, guys. You know, I'm not a therapist. I go to a therapist. So, but you don't have to do anything, but you're smart if you learn from your experiences. You gain skills. You gain life skills, right? As you experience life. And like I said, we've got all the sayings, you know. We all know you can make life, let life make you bitter or better. All those good sayings. Because, hey, it can be a lot of pressure. I feel like this needs to be right by him. I mean, there's a lot of pressure being up in the, you know, and honestly, anything we do in life, if we aren't just fitting in, if we aren't just trying to get by, and it can be pressure, you know, it can be draining on us, and that is why we need to do things, find things that make us happy, that spark our joy. And to me, crafting and, you know, journaling, they definitely do that for me. Being in nature, huge for me. Just being out in the yard. I went out in the yard and just picked up sticks for an hour yesterday. Expect better. Now, expect better of who? I'm going to say, expect better. I'm only in competition with one person, and I'm not really in competition with myself. I was going to say myself, but you know what I mean there? I'm not competing with myself, but here's that tiny don't stop. But I'd like to see progress. And how do we see progress? Just breathe. Some days you gotta rest. Some days you're going slow. Some days you are wound up and you are knocking them out of the park. Okay? Don't stop. That is some days when you've got to rest, when you've got to chill. I definitely did some of that this winter. You have to. That is a form of self-care. Okay, but we just can't stay there forever. We rest, we get back up, and we go again. We don't stop. The pressure's always there, and I think that's another thing that I've really got to work on. Am I pressuring myself? What's the pressure coming from? That's something I need to look at myself. Here we go. Love yourself. Okay? And I think that that is really appropriate here, because if you don't love yourself, and I know that's a biggie. You know, that's a hard one, and I'm not saying, oh, you know, everything's perfect and you think you're perfect. I'm saying have compassion on yourself. I'm talking to myself, guys. Have compassion on yourself. Rest when you need to rest. Take a break. Go get a massage. Get a pedicure. Go out with friends. But come back. You know, come back revived. And to me, that is definitely a way of loving myself. Let me see, where do I want to put this? I didn't want to cover up that skyscraper right there. So, this was just off of a back of a calendar, you know, where they show you what the pages are inside. So, yeah, I mean, I think that that is kind of what I'm going for here with this journal. It's like a little mini vision board of where I'm going, what I'm wanting. I'm going next level. I mean, in my life, my whole life, right? I'm making progress. I'm doing big things. I do expect better out of myself. Love myself. Take stock in the life skills I have. Sure, there's going to be pressure, but just breathe. Okay? Now, on the edges of this, I had just taken like magazine pieces that had like good solid spots. I just kind of ripped them, so I kind of have this little thing of magazine pieces of, you know, what could be strips of colored paper. You know, just saving. So that's what this orange is, and then this was just a ribbon. So get your ribbons out. Also, we've got, I've just got this old jar of washi tape, and I need to use some of this up, but, you know, some of it's just kind of like, I'm not really digging that, but, you know, we can use it up in our junk stuff, and it'll be fine. See, so we could take and, you know, put a border or just a top if we wanted to dress it up a little bit. Okay, and then we could also take, you know, we can also take our markers and just do whatever, you know. Oh, you're not going to really see. I mean, just piddle. I'm one of those people that used to, not really anymore, but remember used to, you guys that are old enough, when you had a home phone and you had to sit stationary in one place, I would always have something I was doodling on. I'll just make little tiny ones on this. So the whole time I was talking on the phone to whoever, I was doodling. And it wasn't ever anything, you know, significant. I think I could do like a Bugs Bunny head. And I think I could do a little house that was, you know, very primitive. Not a drawer. But just doodling, just making swirls and circles. I remember being little and we would take and just make a whole like swirl on a paper and then color in the little sections with crayons. You know, those would make really pretty tags or a background for something. We might have to do that. But see, just playing. you know, you can just piddle and play and you know, do whatever you want. Oh, these are nice fine tipped ones. Next level, baby. Should I put exclamation points? Next level, we're going there. And when I say next level, guys, I mean I'm talking. Let's take our our character to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, absolutely. You want to get next level financially? Yeah, I want to get financially independent so I can retire and do this all the time. Honest to goodness, I would love to do this. I could do videos like 3 times a week. So yeah, you know, in whatever you're thinking, and whatever words that you want to put out there in the universe that you can look at and you can say, yep, that's what I'm doing. And yeah, just make little hash, you know, like little hash marks or whatever you want to do. Color in your things. And we could dress this up and you know, make this just what we wanted. And all the while, we're thinking about what we're doing here. And we're manifesting this. We're bringing this, you know, we're bringing this in. We are bringing it in. So, yeah, let's see. Let's go ahead and look and see. Let's do one more. Now, this was, like I said, this was the back cover. This was the back cover of the book. So that was cool. So I just left that. So I had this little pile. I think I kind of got together. Oh, yeah. Okay, so see, this was still about my, what I've got going on. So I saw this dude, and he is working. He's a blacksmith. He's forging iron, and you know, that is a job. Let's make sure we get his head right here. His head's in the black, so if he has a funny shaped head, it's okay. But he is literally taking something and transforming it into something else. And in this case, how is that happening? Looks to me like it's undergoing a real change, but it's under pressure, which was our last on our last page. And yeah, maybe we'll put this to the side since it's got a straight. So that would be cool. So he's in here working. He's doing the work. He's got his sleeves rolled up. He's in the he's out in the workshop, and there's pressure. The heat's on, right? How do they say diamonds are formed? Under pressure. We should have David Bowie come on about now. Pressure. He knew. He knew. Okay, so we have our blacksmith, and he's out there doing his thing, forging something. Now, this was out of a magazine, but I was thinking, you know, this is like the gears in your head turning, and then I had this. So problem solving is not always just about physical labor. It's about, mentally working on things, taking things into consideration. Then I like this. This was out of like a book. Not even sure, but it says angels watching over you. And then I like this little angel because I think that's what we have to remember too. However you guys believe, whatever you think, there are, I personally believe there are forces working for our good, and we can talk to them. We can, you know, have whatever kind of conversation we're thinking, thinking we can have with them. But yeah, while we're problem solving, we also have got the spiritual aspect of it. Okay, so we're using our physical. This one was cute. We're using our mental. We're using our reasoning. We're using it all. Okay, don't lie down, stand up. No, I don't think that's. Let's see what else we've got over here. Another life lessons. Making a statement. Stronger. I think stronger we could put, or strong. But I think stronger. Didn't we put strong on the page before? Stronger, bolder. I like those. Okay. And so how do we get stronger and bolder? I mean, I'm talking about myself here. How do I get to where I want to go? How do I do that? How do I get stronger? How do I get bolder? I do it by taking stock of what I've got, of using my life experience, of using the skills I've learned by problem solving. I'm a nurse by trade, at least this time around. Yeah, there's sometimes you just simply have to problem solve. And it's good to use those. I think as folks get older too, things like the search of words and the Sudoku. I'm probably saying that wrong. I've never gotten into it. Look, she's even got a little wand right there over the flame. Get it, girl. Yeah, problem solving. And so those are good things to access. So here's a little head down here with all things coming out of it. It's like flowers. It's flowers, which is awesome. Yes. Okay, so we want to be stronger. We want to be bolder. Oh, it sounds like that song they used to play on Oprah. I don't remember the name of it, but I used to love that song. Let's see. Stronger and bolder. Let's put bolder here. Problem solving's there. There. Stronger. And then let's put our angels watching over us. Okay, guys, so see, this is just what I'm doing. But see, it's therapeutic in so many ways, right? Because not only are we working with our hands, you know, doing that physical touch. We're using our senses. We're touching, which I love the tactile stuff. I think that's why I love the crunchy paper so much. Once you like get it wet or tea dye it or do whatever, your coffee stain it, whatever you're doing. I love the tactile. I love looking at it. Use your senses, you know. If you want something in your room that smells good, get yourself a like an essential oil. I've got several of them around. Put on a nice candle. You know, if you've got some sort of spray you use all of our senses. This is one, you know, or a couple of senses: seeing, touching, smelling. If you count the glue. No, we're not. Anyway, so you get the point. I hope you get the point, and we can just play in this and, you know, make this whatever we want. We can come back and we can, oh, here I just used a marker a little bit. We can come back and we can continue to, let's do one more. So here's a dude, something I got out of a magazine. Here's a dude and he is breathing fire, okay? So, yeah, and I definitely have had righteous indignation of recent with some events that really are out of my control, and that is part of what I've had to stand up and come to the forefront, put myself under some pressure, basically just say, wait a minute, this isn't right. No. And that is not like me. That is, makes me very uncomfortable. I am a getter-alonger, not an instigator and a fighter. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta put your boundaries. You gotta set some boundaries. I've been really bad about not doing that. And I'm almost 60, guys. Come on. You know, I know. So your voice counts. I thought this was appropriate. Bottle of matches. Because you know what? Hey, guys. I am a peace-loving, gentle, kind. I mean, come on. I'm in the healing profession. I've been all my life. But there are a few things. Yeah. We can start a fire over. So I thought the matches in the bottle was kind of cute. I'm like, yep. Oh, here's one. I made my move. I did. I definitely put out there what I needed to do, and I'm still kind of letting that play out. People aren't liking it very much. Let's just put it that way. How about the boxing gloves? Just a magazine piece. I mean, I can put the boxing gloves on. You know. And what do they say about taking the boxing gloves off? Yikes. You've seen a different side of me. Oh, this one. Don't lie down, stand up. This reminds me of, if you guys like Dave Matthews at all, this reminds me of one of his songs, Stand Up. Sometimes, oh, the word strong just keeps on coming back. Oh, here's the one that says statement. Make a statement. Sometimes you gotta make a statement, guys. Sometimes you do. Alright, I like this. Okay, and then we could do, like I said, we can do whatever. Let's go ahead and do this one. I made my move. Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back on the move I made. Haven't heard anything back yet, so I keep making little moves, and I think every time I make a move, the people are shocked because they just thought I was going to fold and not say anything, as I have basically done many times, or something to that effect. It's just not causing a scene, not causing a ruckus. It is not me. But like I said, sometimes we get in situations where it's such an injustice that we got to say something. There. So we got the boxing gloves. I made my move. Well, I keep sticking my glue on all these little pieces of stuff over here. Your voice counts. Oh gosh, guys, this is a whole thing of itself, right? It is difficult for people, and I've had a real hard time using my voice. I feel like probably I got shot down pretty badly for trying to use my voice, and so I think eventually I just stopped trying. Stop trying to use it because it was just too hard. But your voice does count, and I know it's hard. Just like in the previous pages. You're going out on a skyscraper, right? You're at the top of a skyscraper. It's scary up there. But I think the thing is, we have to come to the point where is it scarier to fold up and not do it? It's obviously, I think, oftentimes a disservice we're doing to ourselves. But I also get that it's difficult and scary. Maybe because I'm finally getting older. Here, let's put the statement right on top of the matches. The word statement. That I'm getting, more nerve, or I don't know, whatever you call it. Strong. Where do we want to put the strong? Your voice counts. I made my move. We'll just put it right here. Okay. All right, guys. So, yeah. Now I can, let's see, we could play with this. Let's see, we've got washi tape. I'm not obviously doing any color scheme here. So what's this one say? Dream, shine, bloom. That seems a little off for what I'm saying here. I made my move. Statement. Here we go. Okay. And we could color this in. Just get your markers out. Or your crayons. Let's see, maybe I can go around the page. And, yeah, just play. But, like I said, it's also therapy. It's so therapeutic in many ways. It's good to think about these things. It's good to get them out, out and in view, where we can look at them later, maybe when we aren't thinking about them anymore, or we can look back and actually be like, man, I made it through that situation, and it didn't break me, and day. And that can give us a lot of joy. Because it is a beautiful day. Let's see, where can we put this? I made my move. Beautiful day. Your voice counts. Let's just put it across here. Good. All right, guys. I just wanted to do this. I'm not sure what we'll do next week. I've got lots and lots of journal stuff to do. I think I said before, I've got a bunch of different things I could start working on. I'm like back 3 vacations from doing any kind of scrapbook, but I've got, yeah, so many things. So, all right. So you guys keep up the good work. Get your stuff out. Get your junk out. Get a, if you don't want to do this, just get yourself a composition notebook. Start gluing and pasting in there. You see some quotes you like, or write your own quotes. Write what's on your mind, or just journal. You don't have to do any quotes. Just journal in your book. And I haven't left a lot of, you can journal all over the thing. I'm just kind of not going to write in it right now. I'm just going to kind of do what I'm doing in this one. Just kind of pasting, really. Just gluing stuff down, playing. So, all right, guys. I will see you soon with another junk journal, and on Friday we're doing a craft. I've been doing spring. I'm going to get into, I've got to just make a list of the things that we want to work on for the wedding, which isn't until September, but you know how that goes. A lot of those are going to coincide with summery, spring stuff anyway. It's going to be a lot of moss, you guys. It's going to be a lot of moss, which I love. Oh my God, think about the feeling and texture of that. Woo! That's going to be a ton of fun. All right, so I will see you then. Have a great week. Take some time for yourself, no matter what that is. Sitting by yourself, having a cup of tea, journaling, whatever. And I'll see you back here soon. Bye. It's a Modern Day Nana.